Grace and Peace, Rooted Collective. Welcome back to Awakened and Rooted, where the veil is thin, the vibes are deep, and the stories will make you question everything. So if you are into the mystical, the metaphysical, or the downright unexplainable, you are in the right place. So let's get into it.
And I love this breakdown of fear, right? And what is that? False evidence appearing to be real. Let me say that one more time because I love this and I hope this sticks with you. But when you think of fear, think of false evidence appearing to be real, right? And when somebody says that, you might say, what does that mean? Because fear is an illusion, people. Fear is a straight up illusion. And I'm going to say that half of the majority of the time, your fears are things that you are creating in your mind. It's not actual reality, right? These are things that are going on in here, but not actual reality. So you'll use that. You'll use fear as a thing to keep you secluded, keep you in the house, keep you from not doing whatever that it is that you want to do. Like literally holding you back. Right? And I don't feel like it's not feel, but it's not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to your truth. It's not beneficial for your potentiality.
So I agree and disagree with him at the same time. I disagree with the fact that fear is an illusion because you can feel fear physically. I do agree that yes, it is in your head. I do agree that most of the time it is what he says as false evidence appearing real. We Most of the time we will sort of overinflate whatever it is that's going on with us that's causing us to have that fear. But it can't be an illusion if it's causing you to have a physical manifestation, if you understand what I mean. I do agree also that we do allow fear to hold us back.
I'm going to say this to you in the same exact way my therapist said it to me. And what is your fear protecting you from? What is your anxiety protecting you from? What is your procrastination protecting you from? Emotions may seem like the most annoying thing in the world, but they actually serve many purposes. Not only do the pleasant ones make life feel more valuable and worth living, but the unpleasant ones are actually protecting us from something in some way that our lizard brain thinks makes sense. Take procrastination, for example. It's really annoying, but usually procrastination is underrooted by anxiety or fear. And usually that comes from a fear of not knowing how to start, a fear of it not turning out the way you envision this task in your head, a fear of it being too hard and you not being able to complete it, a fear of you not knowing what to do and how to take the next step. A fear of dating and getting intimate with someone could mean you're protecting yourself from being rejected. If you're afraid of having a difficult conversation with a loved one, you might be protecting yourself from potentially ruining or ending the relationship if they don't receive it well. It's protecting you from rejection. It's protecting you from failure. It's protecting you from hurting yourself somehow. If you get to the core of what your fear is protecting you from, then you can tell yourself, that's silly, we're doing it anyway.
I agree with her.
Quick thought. Why do we fear everything that's spiritual and we embrace everything that's physical? Let me explain. Everything like astrology or yoga, third eye, fasting, sun gazing, uh, earthing, walking on the ground, being naked, all these spiritual things that cater to the spirit, we deem strange or weird and we don't embrace or we're afraid of it, right? But everything that's bad for you, that the flesh would want, like the carnal, the food, watching the Netflix and the TV all the time, having sex all the time, right? All these things that cater to the spirit, we neglect, but the things that cater to the flesh, we embrace. It's backwards. You got to cater more to the inner man, the person you can't see, the higher self. The lower self is gets us in bad situations. We shouldn't fear that. We should fear the lower self and not the higher self.
You know what? At first, when he started talking, I was like, where on earth is he going with this? But when he kind of explained it, it completely makes sense to me.
I realized I had a big ego because I had a lot of fear. Now, through a lot of meditation and studying about spirituality, I've come to face with my ego. And now I can admit that the only reason that I had such big walls and arrogance about anything is because I was afraid. The ego acts as a defense mechanism trying to protect something, whether that be pride or an opinion. The ego just jumps and acts all crazy because it thinks that if I don't defend myself, then I'm going to lose myself. And it becomes very hard to love or even come from a loving and understanding place when you have a lot of fear because the ego is always coming in the way. I had to admit all my weaknesses and everything that I was afraid of and come from my true nature, which is just basically love.
Y'all notice that as soon as you reach a certain level of consciousness, those old fears come creeping back in. And it's not because the universe is trying to punish you. It's actually quite the opposite. It's more like confirmation. The universe is saying, look at you. Now look at these old fears. This shit still scare you? Do this own you for real? Or do you know who you are now? Do you know how powerful you are? Yeah, I know I'm gonna give you some examples. So maybe you used to shrink yourself in relationships. You used to feel like you was a little too much. You was scared of being you for real. And boom, somebody new comes in and triggers that old wound. They say shit like, you a little too much. You too intense. The old you would have been apologizing immediately. Would have immediately tried to dim your light even more. New you gonna be like, hell yeah, I'm too much. And if you can't handle it, move on. Expeditiously too. Or you used to avoid speaking up at work or even online because you scared of being judged. As soon as you start gaining confidence or clarity, somebody coming at you at work or they in the comments coming at your neck. Old you would have been nervous. You would have deleted the post. You would have ran into the bathroom at work crying. New you breathed and you let them know, I ain't here to be liked. I came here to work, to get my motherfucking check and go home. Or I'm not online to be liked or loved. I'm here to spread a message, to help with evolution. If you can't handle my truth, that's cool. That disrespectful shit, I will not tolerate. Just like that. So, it ain't no test, it's graduation. Sometimes the shadows come back not to haunt you, but to honor how far you've come. It's like they're saying, you made it. You ain't that scared little version of you no more. Yeah, at first it's gonna feel unsettling. You're gonna be like, why am I feeling anxious? Why am I doubting myself again? Then ask yourself, is this real or is this residue? Because residue don't have roots. You can wipe that shit off and keep it moving. Truth is, you a strong soul, a divine being. I keep telling you, you never breaking down. You always breaking through. But when fear shows up again, you better not run. You better stand 10 toes down. Look whatever it is in the eye and say, you used to scare me, but you ain't shaking or moving shit no more. That's it, that's all. I know I help all day with this. If you want to go a little deeper, go ahead and click the link in my bio so you can book a consultation.
Okay, so that part is kind of old, so we're going to cut that part off, but we have definitely had this on the channel before, but I thought it was relevant because a lot of times before we are about to before we are about to level up, all of these unrealistic fears and things like almost like roadblocks start to pop up. So I thought this was a good video to put back into this today's video.
If you're struggling with fear still in 2025, I need you to understand, fear is your friend. Having fear is not your enemy. The thing that you fear the most is the very thing that's going to be what you need to level up and get to where you're trying to be. Okay, that very thing that you're running away from, that you're scared to face, is the very thing that's going to lead you to your success. Okay, every single thing that every fear that I've literally overcame this year is the reason why I'm going to be a millionaire. Okay, I had the biggest fear of quitting my good federal government 9-to-5 career. Okay, I quit with no income and no backup plan. To start a business from scratch, okay, I had to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on this business with having faith as small as a mustard seed, not knowing where the heck it's going to go. Fear of posting on TikTok because I had a super fear of perfectionism, being seen, being judged, feeling cringe, and did that. What else? I started public speaking, one of my biggest fears. And let me tell you, every single fear that I've had has literally been what I needed to be where I am today. Successful and becoming a millionaire. So that very thing, so you need to start embracing fear. Stop looking at it as an enemy. It's your friend. It's the thing that's telling you that, ooh, girl, this is our level up. I don't know if you're ready for this. We too comfortable. It's the thing that you have to get uncomfortable to do to get to your next level. Literally look at it as your friend. Like when I get fearful of things, I'm like, oh, I must need this. The devil put that fear in me for a reason. The devil put that in me because he don't want me to overcome whatever this is that's going to get whatever's on the other side. He don't want me to get to. So, and let me tell y'all, once y'all slay that dragon once you do it one time, once you slay that dragon one time, that's it. That's all you need. From there, you'll be like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Okay. So let me tell you, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Fear is your friend.
She is the embodiment of feeling the fear and doing it anyway. She sounds like she has accomplished everything that she wanted to accomplish because she used that fear as sort of like a springboard. Like she thought about, this is the fear that I want to conquer, and she conquered it. And it wasn't as bad as she thought it was.
Okay, so God is about to put you in a new position that He ordained for you. This might be related to your career. It might not. You fit in how this fits, but your first instinct when He puts you into that new position, or it might not even be related to career. It might just be He is changing you as a person, and He's getting ready to reveal a new version of you to you. So your first instinct is going to be fear. You're going to be scared to see this new version of you, or see this new responsibility that is being given to you. You're going to be scared, and you're going to be like, wait, this is me? Like, this is scary. Like, this is who you're calling me to be. This is the space that you're calling me to. Your instinct is going to be fear, but God is saying you don't have to do this alone. You didn't get here to this point alone. So why do you think that walking into this new space or walking into these new shoes is going to be you doing it by yourself? Like, you don't get separated from me when you get the blessing. So realizing that you don't have to do this by yourself is going to give you a lot more peace, because this has been God's timing and God's plan all along. He was waiting for the appointed time to unleash certain things within you, certain gifts that He placed inside of you, and certain blessings that are connected to the gift that is within you, that is going to allow it to come to the surface, allow it to be seen, and allow that part of you to shine. He's about to make those things happen, and it was appointed. Like, there was a certain time in your life where this was meant to happen, and it's happening now, or like in the near future. But God is saying, like, you don't need to be afraid of this. You don't have to worry. You don't have to fear anything. It's all going to come together. So, yeah.
So if what she says is true, that means that God decided that I should be getting my, I guess, quote unquote gifts, and I should be doing what I was, I guess, put here to do later in life. Later in life, in my 50s. Because now is when I am feeling like everything, my entire purpose is coming into focus, for lack of a better way to say it, for me, if what she says is true. And I tend to believe that it's true. I'm not saying that what she's saying is not true, but I'm trying to like use her video as sort of an example, because I thought I was always here to like be a nurse, and I have been a nurse for the majority of my life. But it's like now all of a sudden that things have shifted for me, and I don't feel like that is all that I am here for anymore. And that just started happening in my 50s. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know I've been MIA and I have been trying to play catch up with orders and all of the stuff that I have to do, but I need to make this video. This comment has triggered something for me that I was not expecting, and I want to speak about it because I feel like this framework needs to be like dissolved very quickly as we move into the next chapter of what life is going to be like for us as a society and as a world. I really want to see it being dissolved in the spiritual community because I feel like that's where some of this is like really bred. This kind of idea that if you just don't feed into it, or if you just don't live in that, you don't resonate with those things and you disconnect from that and stay in the high vibration, that will positively impact the world around you and fix the problems that you see. I hate that ideology, that like kind of like spiritual woo-woo, like conscious community bullshit. To me, it's complacency, and it's not answering the call of your spirit. If God, the universe, Allah, Confucius, whoever it is that you pray to and you believe in, source, is telling you, hey, someone is in need, you should go help them, and you're feeling like, I want to do that, you should answer that call. Like, you should reach into your humanity, whether that be by way of your spirituality or just your natural instinct, and you should always participate in that way because it is always beneficial to you, even if you think it's not. You say in this comment, they just want people to be scared. And people are recognizing that. We all know that. And we're giving people a reason not to be afraid. We're providing resource and aid and support and abundance so people do not have a reason to go hungry or to be afraid they're going to go hungry. There's nothing more beautiful than that, because it's reminding people that we have power to change the world around us if we just activate ourselves to do it. If we stop waiting for somebody else to come in and figure it out, and we just act on our desire to see people be supported, that we can actually just fix the problems that are around us. That awareness of our capacity to like actually make change by just one decision is something that we need to see things progress in a positive way in our reality, even on a spiritual tip. This ideology, this like concept, this idea, I don't know if that's where you were going with this, but I just want to squash it quickly. This is not okay. Like, one, don't bring this on my page for one, but this isn't okay. Like, if you're somebody who claims to be spiritual or connected or caring about the collective, you can't say that and then make comments like this on people's pages who really aren't doing anything crazy. I literally just gave away free tickets to my money ceremony. The point I'm making is this. If we start discouraging people from accessing their humanity at the top while we're trying to like fix this fucking weird ass shit that we're in right now, it's really gonna bite us in the ass later. So let's not do this. And if you've maybe commented this on somebody else's page, or you're passing this sentiment on, I'd stop immediately. Like, we're in Aquarius energy now, and the universe is going to respond very well to those who participate on that Aquarius side. And if you don't know what that means, figure it out.
I love her video. But first of all, this catching up with Khalees. So we're supposed to sit here and wait for SNAP benefits, those of us who do receive SNAP benefits, but don't be scared at the same time because they want us to live in fear. Makes absolutely no sense. First of all, let me tell you something about your comment, and this is like, this is petty. This is There, and there. You have used the wrong there, and that irritates me from the get. So that lets me know right there where you are, and I trust nothing you say. Your comment sort of makes me angry. I agree with the glamour witch. People who have it on their hearts to help, go ahead and help. That way these people don't have to live in fear. That way they do know where their next meal is coming from until this crazy president and this crazy government decides that people are important enough to feed them. Use your resources to help your community. While you're sitting there using the wrong there, you can be doing a food pantry like other people and stop telling people to stop living in fear because they don't have food. They are going to live in fear because they don't have food. They cannot feed their families. You may have small children. I don't know if WIC has anything to do with SNAP. I don't know. But if you have babies, you are going to live in this fear. And talking about that's how they want everybody to feel. They want everybody to live in fear. They're doing a good job of making that a reality, that everybody is living in fear. But thank God for others of us who have the forethought and the compassion and the empathy to do food pantries, to offer to help our neighbors, and not to put these comments on somebody else's channel who is helping or somebody else's page who is helping. Off the soapbox.
Fear. That's what's been running your life since you were a kid and you don't even realize it. Fear is the greatest lie that's ever been sold to humanity. Our parents used it to keep us in line. The pastors still preach it from the pulpit. Politicians sell it on a daily basis from podiums. And the system is constantly feeding it to us through screens. The fear of hell, the fear of failure, the fear of standing out, the fear of speaking truth, the fear of losing control, the fear of death, the fear of the afterlife. Because they know fear keeps you silent. Fear keeps you obedient. Fear keeps you in line. And fear is a prison they've built, and you're living in it. And here's the truth they don't want you to know. Life begins on the other side of fear. If you think about it, every fear you've ever faced left you stronger, wiser, freer, and you were able to see it exactly for what it was. Smoke and mirrors. The monster was never real. And the same thing goes for what you've been told to blindly believe in. You should question it. You should seek truth. Because if truth is real, it survives questions. If it falls apart when you ask, it was never truth. Life and freedom live on the other side of fear. You've just been programmed to believe otherwise and to stay within the confines of the imaginary lines they've built. But the moment you confront it, you face it, and you overcome it, and you realize you've been limitless the whole time. So stop letting fear write your story. Stand up, question everything, then question it some more, and continue to question it until it makes sense. Learn to live free. Remember, the goal is to leave everyone better than we found them, and it starts with you. I'll see you on the other side of fear. Namaste.
Namaste. In other words, use fear as a springboard instead of a wall or something to hold you back.
This book is literally amazing. Heal Your Mind by Mona Lisa Scholes and Louise Hay. I got it for $2.99 at a thrift store. And it came with like a really beautiful like indigenous card along with it. It's a very beautiful note to whomever this was for. But this is now my bookmark. But look how gorgeous. Like I took that as a sign of like this book was for me. Anyway, they talk about emotions and how unresolved emotion turns into physical ailments and diseases in our body if it goes untreated or healed. So right now she's talking about fear and what to do when you feel this fear arising within you. Fear being our intuitive body letting us know that something needs to be looked at, something needs to be addressed here. Number 1, you're going to feel the fear. 2, indicate what triggered this fear. 3, respond effectively to it. And then 4, release it. If you don't take these steps, the fear turns into habit.
They cut off her what she was saying, but I need to get that book. If I have a link for that book, I will put it in the description.
One of the number one indicators of growth within your being is when you experience fear, as fear often presents itself as an opportunity for growth whenever experiencing fear, and often arises whenever we're stepping out of our normal comfort zone. Maintaining this perspective will allow you to understand and communicate with your being in a proper manner whenever fear arises. This proper communication allows you to understand your being on a deeper level to be able to maintain a balance within your mind space. For if we allow fear to resonate within our mind space without making the proper actions, this is how we instill fear-based thinking and fear-based thoughts within our mind. Being the overseer of your mind allows you to trace back the root cause of the fear and manage it in a way that's going to allow you to move forward and grow.
He sounds like he's reading it's ghetto pastor. He sounds like he's reading a passage from a book, but I get what he's saying. It is very gray outside today. I am watching leaves fall from the trees, but it is very gray outside today, so my lighting sucks. I have my window wide open, and I put my ring light back up because I'm crazy. So I apologize for the lighting in this video.
Why fear is good for us. 1. Survival instinct. Fear serves as our innate alarm system, originating from a time when our ancestors confronted numerous threats in the wild, enabling us to swiftly react and protect ourselves from danger. 2. Motivation. Fear acts as a potent source of motivation by creating a sense of urgency, instilling the fear of potential negative consequences from inaction. 3. Better decisions. Fear goes beyond mere caution. It compels us to engage in critical thinking, weighing the potential consequences of our choices. 4. Heightened awareness. Fear doesn't merely trigger alarm, it elevates our awareness of our surroundings, which equips us to gather crucial information, detect subtle cues, and respond with greater effectiveness. 5. Growth and resilience. The transformative power of confronting and overcoming fear extends far beyond our comfort zones, as it fosters adaptability and builds resilience, ultimately paving the path to personal growth.
First of all, I don't like this video. Why are you taking these benign childhood figures and making them freaking creepy and scary? Like Elmo, bigger than the houses, Santa Claus, creepy, bigger than the house actually, and creepily looking in through your window with glasses on that look like car headlights, and all of the Smurfs looking like little demons. I don't like it. But anyway, I get the video.
Have you ever stopped to realize just how much the world operates out of fear? You got fear of missing out, fear of someone doing better than you, fear of losing out on money so you stay in a dead-end job, just miserable. Same thing with that relationship, because you fear being alone. You don't speak up or advocate for yourself because of the fear of what somebody's going to say or think about you. Don't even get me started on how much religion pushes fear. You even question things. If you don't believe, you going to hell. Just like hell, fear is an illusion. That's a concept that was made up in your mind. Fear is the ultimate weapon, the sharpest tool in the arsenal of those who want to control your mind. They use fear to keep you obedient and keep you from rising to your true power. Just think about it. Fearful people are the easiest to control. Once you realize that this was no accident, this was a whole program and designed to keep everybody in fear. Whether you know it or not, the entities that has been running this world for so long, they thrive and live off of fear. Fear is the lowest vibration. One of the biggest contributors to fear is the media. That television been telling lies to your vision for so long. Don't even get me started if you watch that news every day. When I talk to y'all, I'm speaking from experience because that used to be me. And I used to feel my heart racing every time I watched the news because it was always bad news. They do like damn near an hour of bad news and then they throw in one good little story. It's to the point I don't even watch the weather no more. Because that be wrong half the time anyway. But just take notice that half of the things that you have been fearful about are things that have been spoon-fed to you since birth. Unless you've experienced it, everything that you've been fearful about has been taught to you. When you step out of fear, you start stepping into your true self. You start vibrating high. You start glowing. That's when real change happens. So it's time to wake up, shed that fear, and step into that power that's been yours all along. I know they stripped it from you, but take it back. Don't let the fear mongers keep you in check. Rise up. Reclaim your mind and start living. Make sure you living and vibrating in love, power, truth, and authenticity. Peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Let's talk about the spiritual meaning of having a consistent, uneasy feeling or feelings of impending doom. During these times, there's a lot of chaotic energy going around in the world, going around in the environment. This uneasy feeling that you're having could be for multiple reasons. It could be you picking up energies of other people. It could be you having attachment of fear that has been placed through social media, placed through things that are fear mongering and get you to have a reaction that's most likely negative. And you've picked that up, and that's energy of fear has been attached to you. Uneasy feeling could be due to unhealed traumas. It could be due to childhood traumas, unprocessed emotions, unprocessed feelings, suppressed emotions that needs to be healed. These emotions that are trying to come out of you that need to be felt and need to be released. It's very important for us to be aware of and be in tune with our emotions during these times, because there's going to be a lot of events that is meant to create a reaction and a distraction away from our purpose, away from our goals, away from our destiny. And in order for us to not get distracted and not fall victim into these schemes, into these plays of fear, we must be in tune with ourselves, in tune with our emotions, and tap into the energies that are trying to express itself, that needs to be felt, needs to be healed, processed, and released in order for us to be free of that uneasy feeling, free of that impending fear and just impending doom in our lives. In order to really process this uneasy feeling that you're having, you have to do shadow work. You need to be more in tune with your feelings, build self-awareness within yourself. Why are you feeling this way? Where does it stem from? Meditate on it. You can journal. But it's all about building up enough self-awareness to figure out what emotions these are. Where did it come from? Are these emotions even my own? Or is these things that I've picked up from other people? Or are these emotions unprocessed trauma, unprocessed emotions that need to be felt and needs to be released? If that's something you need to ask yourself and then take appropriate action to release these things.
Did you know that fear can actually serve you? Did you know that fear has a benefit? When there is enough fear, you're on your knees and you want to do something about it. So fear is the fuel for change. And so if you are lazy, selfish, uncaring, apathetic, then fear is the little pilot light under your butt to get you moving. It is time now to actually see the blessing of fear, to face it head on instead of running from it, and to really ask yourself deeply, how is this fear serving me? Enough people in the world who have woken up, have heard the alarm clock and the clarion call, and so divine intervention can happen because we have served our purpose, which is to wake up from the terrible things that have happened to us, to make us move the needle, to grow, to change, and to have that prophesized new age, new world that has been spoken of.
So to me, again, that falls back to using fear as something to propel you forward.
A lot of people don't realize that fear is one of the biggest illusions, like the biggest limitations. And I just saw this post out here that said it can either be you forget everything and run, or you face everything and rise. And that's just like you throw away what you learned on your journey to run away from your purpose, or you face all the challenges, all the trials that come with your purpose, and you rise to the other side. You get what I'm saying? I'm making this video because I ain't gonna lie, I've been trying to run from my purpose because like the attack's been strong, tough, like the challenge has been hard, you feel me? But it seems like every time I try to run, I always get pulled right back. Like it's no running from your purpose. Like whenever you try to run, everything just it's gonna hit 10 times harder, and it's gonna make you think like, damn, do I really just give up? Like, do I really just throw it all away? You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, I can't. Like, I gotta keep pushing, keep fighting, keep going through these attacks, keep facing the challenges. You get what I'm saying? If you are fearful, you won't be able to get anything done, and that's just plain and simple. Like, you have to have some type of confidence and knowing that you can complete whatever task this is. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people would have been failed. Like, they would have just gave up. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people won't even try new things, like, because of fear. They will much rather look outside of themselves because they are comfortable being in that fear state, and they have been programmed to be in that fear state. And it's your journey, so you can choose to forget everything and run from your purpose, or face everything and rise with your purpose.
And like he said, when you try to run from it, you get pulled right back to it. So I am going to choose to face everything and rise.
This video is for anyone in their spiritual journey that is at the point where you're trying to decipher like what thoughts are coming from your ego versus what thoughts are coming from your higher self, and which one should you listen to as truth. It's so hard. The ego is like total trickster energy sometimes, I feel like. If you haven't yet read this book, New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, it's literally like a master's degree on the ego. I highly recommend. But the one key takeaway that is just seeming to be relevant like every single day for me is anytime I have a thought about fear that is fearful, afraid of something happening, like just fear in general, no question, hands down, that's an egoic thought. That only exists in the ego. That does not align with your higher self. And so I think the light bulb moment for me was like, oh my God, like if you are experiencing fear and that's coming from the ego, it's actually a fear of like the ego dying, like ego death. And think about it, anytime you go into the unknown, you are afraid. Like it is so scary, and it's actually the ego. Like I think knowing it's gonna die, like what? Crazy.
When you're really living your mission, it is going to take you places that scare you. And the closer you come to living your mission in its highest potential, fully actualized as your highest expression in your clearest frequency, you're going to hit this point where it makes you so afraid. Every fear is going to have to come up because that's the opportunity for you to dissolve those fears, to dissolve those limiting beliefs, to keep going, to choose love, to choose soul resonance, to choose what you're really here to do. And what happens is as you keep moving forward, those fears come up and they get really, really active. Things get really, really active. It's like a subconscious belief. If you are shifting a subconscious belief right before you're about to actually change it, it usually comes up and it gets really, really, really strong and really, really loud because it's about to die and it's trying to hold on for dear life. And if you keep going, it goes away.
I love that. Because that's like one of the other videos was saying, right before you are about to level up, that's when that fear kicks in of like, what if I can't do it? What if it doesn't work out? What if they don't like it? Like, and I'm telling you about things that go through my head as well. Like, and I can even associate that with this channel. It's like I'm trying to do different things, like in addition to like the TikTok reactions, which are amazing, but there is just more that I want to share. And I'm always like, I feel like this is what I really need to do, but I won't, because what if they don't like it? Like the numbers are not showing that they like it, so maybe I shouldn't. And that's the fear. But like I said a few minutes ago, I am going to choose to face everything and rise, and I'm going to put that content out that I feel would be super helpful to other people. And that's just me associating this whole thing with this channel.
When I've had my biggest breakthroughs in life, it's when I had to face my biggest challenges. Waking up in the morning and not really sure the direction of my day. I had plans and I had things established, but the anxiety and the torment would come upon me so hard, saying that things wouldn't work out and that everything was a waste of time and that God wasn't going to show up and that he wasn't answering my prayers and he wasn't going to hear me. And then it would try to cause conflict within my family, because that's the enemy's plan. He wants the focus to get all on you, zero faith in God, and then allow that to distort your vision of hope and faith. And then within that, try to divide your family, because a house divided can't stand. But when you recognize these lies, it's not good enough to just recognize them. You have to replace them with truth. But you can't replace them with truth if you don't know the Word of God. But you need to learn the Word of God by spending time with him. So I just want to encourage you today that you can get through anything you're facing. You just have to put it in his hands and stop trying to figure it out by yourself. He guides your steps, but you have to be willing to let him lead you.
Something I've slowly had to learn in the course of my spiritual journey is the true purpose of fear. Before this, I always used to think that fear was a bad thing and that fear was something I needed to conquer. Anytime I would feel fear, I would feel bad and I'll feel like I'm not spiritual enough or good enough for not feeling brave. The thing I had to come to understand is that fear was never my enemy. Fear is an indicator that shows you what areas in your life where you believe that you are less than enough. Fear helps you see what areas in your life that you believe you are limited. The areas in your life where you believe that you are cut off from source or you're cut off from love. It shows you the areas that you are still stuck in the illusion that there exists something that is less than love, less than source, less than abundance. It shows you the areas where you are forgetting who you are. Think of it like this. Imagine you are tasked with cleaning up a beach. And in order to clean up that beach, you have to remove all the metals from the sand. Now imagine this beach is you, and the metals are the illusions and belief systems that are holding you back from being your true self. Fear is like the metal detector. It is an emotion that serves as an alarm bell to show you where to look. For example, if I'm scared I'm going to lose my job, the belief there is that my source of abundance is outside of myself, that I'm not worthy enough to be taken care of by the universe no matter what happens. The issue here is not the emotion of fear. The issue here is the belief. You don't need to get rid of fear. It is the belief systems that you need to work on. When you work on these belief systems, over time the fear will fade away because there is no need for those alarm bells to go off anymore. So if you're someone who is actually interested in remembering who you are and truly awakening, fear can actually be a very useful tool.
Oh my God. It is the belief systems that you need to work on. No truer words have ever been spoken. I love his video. It's like, you know how you hear something and it's just like, oh, well, with my soul. That is how I'm feeling about his video. You know what? After watching all those clips and really sitting with what people were saying about fear, I had to stop and ask myself, what if fear isn't something to fight, but something to translate? Because sometimes fear is language. It's how spirit or your ancestors or even your higher self says, hey, slow down and look again. I've learned that not all fear is created equal. Some of it is ancestral, woven into our bones from generations who had to survive by being cautious. Some of it is intuitive, that gut feeling that makes no logical sense but ends up saving you anyway. And some of it is spiritual, the kind that shows up right before your next level, like the tremble before transformation. The spiritual purpose of fear, to me, is awareness. Fear pulls your attention to what's sacred, to what needs tending. It asks, are you aligned? Are you protected? Are you ready? Sometimes fear isn't warning you away from something. It's inviting you into something deeper, into courage, into clarity, into trust. And here's what's wild. That same energy that fuels fear can also fuel faith if you let it move through you instead of trap you. When you breathe through the fear instead of running from it, it often turns into wisdom. You start to realize, oh, this isn't here to stop me. It's here to prepare me. Our ancestors knew this. They didn't ignore fear. They listened to it. They prayed through it, danced through it, cooked through it, sang through it. They knew that fear could be sacred if you honored it, because every time they faced it and survived it, it became strength in our DNA. So now, when I feel afraid, I pause and ask, what are you trying to tell me? Sometimes the answer is not yet. Sometimes it's this way instead. And sometimes it's simply you're growing. So the next time fear shows up, don't rush to silence it. Sit with it. Breathe with it. Ask it what it's here to teach you. Because fear isn't your enemy, it's your ancestor, your intuition, your spirit guide in disguise. So the next time fear shows up, don't rush to silence it. If this message spoke to you, share your thoughts below. I would love to hear how fear has shown up in your journey lately. And if this space nourishes your spirit, You can support Awakened and Rooted on Buy Me a Coffee. Think of it as pouring a little energy back into what feeds your soul. Every cup helps me keep creating these sacred conversations for our Rooted Collective. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who's learning to listen to their own spirit again. And until next time, stay awakened and stay rooted. Peace.